listening to Shut Up and Invest.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Shut Up and Invest, and we got some real special guests for you guys. But first, the co-host with the most, J Money. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? How's it going, Kevin?
Everything
How you guys
is
doing
good,
out
man.
there? Another episode of Shut Up and Invest. Some more great content today. I'm excited.
We got the twins up in here. Listen, these guys are killing the game. They're generating business through PPC amongst the other traditional marketing methods. But I think they've mastered the PPC game, and we want to not only hear about deals that they're doing, we want to hear more about this PPC thing. And they're doing it for the fam, which is the point of the show. So we want to hear about the fam. I know you guys remodeled your mom's house recently and completely gave her the dream house that she wanted. So we're going to get into all that. But first, introduce you guys, because I don't even know how to tell you all apart.
I'm Joshua Mathis. As you see, we're twins, identical twins. I'm Jeremy, and we've been investing. We've been investing now for about 4 years. This is make our 4th year that we've been investing.
Got it.
And which market?
This is South Florida, primarily South Florida.
Nice.
Hey, and the babies are here. We don't even care.
got the babies
Here,
here.
so
Come here, girl.
Just come in. Come.
you can hang
Come
out.
on
Come hang
in.
out.
I know this is the unusual and orthodox show, but
No, listen, my daughters are here running around. Kevin's nieces are here running around. So
Yeah.
It's Saturday morning, man. You got the kids with us. We're
It's all
chilling.
good. What markets are you guys in?
just South Florida, Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County.
Doing Dade Broward.
Yeah.
How'd you guys get in the game?
We had a cleaning company before, and he was actually about to have her, and we were working so much, and we was like, you know what, we got to find another way where we can make money and work less. And we heard an ad on the radio, which was one of those scams, but he talked us into doing it. We dropped
to the hotels?
one of the guru things. And before we even did a deal, we spent like $70,000 on education before we did a deal.
That's
so
crazy.
when we tell people
$70,000?
about 70 grand,
I
70,000.
believe that. I actually was talking to some people I was helping mentor before, and they were telling me how they spent $40,000,
Yeah.
$35,000. I'm like, I could have got you 3 homes for that.
Right. Yeah. But when you don't know no better, you don't know.
Exactly.
You
You
just
don't
that
know.
if you having somebody that's really good at sales,
We were just talking
and
about that before we started the show.
right, if you have somebody that's really good at sales, you get there, they hype you up. You like, man, I'm tired of working for somebody. I can drive this nice car, and you go and you do that, and you spend it before you know it. You increase the limit on your credit card, and you max out your credit card to pay for the education, and you look back the day after like, wow, I can't believe I actually did that. So yeah.
Did you guys pick anything up from that?
The biggest thing that I learned was join your local RIA. You know, that's one thing that they tell you. Okay, mommy.
Yeah, girl, she want to be on the show.
That's one thing that they tell you, join your local RIA. And by us joining our local RIA, we met some really cool. Okay. Sorry guys. But the biggest thing that they taught us, they didn't really teach us much, but the best piece of advice they said was go to your local RIA. So we went to the local RIA, which is a monthly meetup amongst other
Real
investors.
Estate Investor Association.
Right, and we
meetings,
just started learning really how to invest, and that's how we invest. And that's what really got us started and propelled us to what
Did
we
you
are
guys
now.
do a deal with them at all?
Yes, we did.
When you were
several deals.
Why in the program, the $70,000 program?
No, we never did a deal
through
with
the
them.
RIA.
Yeah, through the RIA.
Gotcha.
So we actually spent like $53,000 on the big thing, and then at the local RIA, we purchased their mentoring program, and that's how it all came to be $70,000.
So at the RIA, you got a return on investment.
Oh,
for sure.
huge.
And we're still getting a return on that investment because I mean we can call those guys and we're in wholesale rehabs,
Development,
and these guys have a wealth of knowledge that they're helping us continue to grow our business.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. So the RIA kind of worked out.
Yeah, amazing.
Definitely worked
Which
out.
RIA is it?
It's the DREA, Dade Real Estate
Dade
Investing
Real, okay.
Association.
Perfect.
That's
All
one
right.
that meets by the airport, right?
No, that's
the RIA one.
that's the
other
real one.
okay.
The one that we were talking about. They meet at Miami Shores
Okay.
once a month.
Gotcha.
You guys are only part of one. Do you suggest, since you guys have experience, joining a few different ones?
Okay.
I suggest always being around like-minded people. So if that's your local read, yes. If that is a meetup started by you guys, you just want to be amongst people that are actually doing deals to be able to pick their brain, to be able to get that knowledge, because you can get it on YouTube, but it's nothing like having that physical contact with the person and having the ability to, hey, we met at this RIA, I have a deal, could you walk me through it? Mm-hmm. So wherever somebody's physically present, I think that's where you need to be if you're trying to become a real estate investor.
Right, whatever market you're trying to get into.
Right.
Go out there and talk to people. Right. Meet people, shake hands, see what they want. We've been preaching this whole thing. Find what buyers want,
right,
and then go find that deal.
Right.
You know? I got a question. You guys, as a dynamic, as brothers, I know you've grown up together.
Yeah.
How is it working together?
Just like growing up, just like he's my brother, and okay,
we're gonna go sit down, please.
Little Chick-fil-A. You want some Chick-fil-A?
When we leave, we're going to Chick-fil-A. Okay.
I mean, give us 1 minute, please.
Go have a seat, please.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. But as far as that dynamic, I think it's the best dynamic because most partners, you say you think one thing, you feel one way, but you're scared to bring it up to your partner. With him, you're an idiot. And you did really bad, and I can say that to him, and he realizes like, damn, he's telling the truth. Let me get my act together. So I feel like we have the best of both worlds where I never have to worry about the bank account. I never have to check it. Mm-hmm. I never have to think about whether he's picking up his weight because we have aligned goals, which is to take care of our daughters. He has 2 daughters. I have a daughter. Mm-hmm. So for us, we are so in sync that it's amazing, and I think it's a great.
I never thought about that way. The honesty between the two of you, because you're family. Like,
right.
you don't care if you hurt his feelings. That's your brother. You know? Whereas people who aren't like that might hold back on what they want to say. Yeah. You know, and so I got a little brother too. I'll tell him whatever I want to feel. Yeah. He tells me the same thing. You know, that definitely can be a positive.
There's times when we're in the office and he wants to do something on like in terms of dispositions, and no, we need to sell it for more. And we get in like real arguments and we figure it out. And after it's over, 5 minutes later, we're going to lunch. Like nothing ever happened.
Yeah,
because you've been doing it your whole life.
Yeah, you're right. We've been doing that. We were doing that the whole life. So it's no different.
I'm
now.
Sure your mom loves seeing this too. You know, her doing
definitely.
that. Definitely.
How do you guys divvy up the responsibilities? Do you guys focus, or do you guys kind of do whatever needs to be done?
You know, he's more so like sales and acquisitions. I do more so operations and dispo. I have a great relationship with our buyers. He's better on the phone. He's better with building rapport and that whole sales aspects of things. So I'm more so of the laid back brother. He's more so of the extrovert, you know, to go out and make it happen. And then, so he'll bring me garbage and I'm like, okay, how can I turn this garbage into something cool? You know what I'm saying?
I also bring good stuff.
We were just doing an interview earlier today with Mike, who you guys know too, and his philosophy is lock it up. He just locks everything up. Yeah. What's your philosophy? How do you guys look at a deal?
We are totally against that, just locking it up. That's just us. We only lock up deals that we are about 90 to 95% that we can resell if it's a wholesale deal. If it's a rehab deal, we have to make a certain spread on it. Mm-hmm. And if it's a rental, we're looking at a certain return. Mm-hmm. So that's our philosophy. If it's wholesale, we have to know that we can sell it, because we're not in this business to really, we're locking up deals. No, I'm in this business to make money. Making money is locking up a deal and actually having the ability to sell it.
Because you guys have a really good handle on who your buyers are?
Yeah, for the most part. We have our core set of buyers who we sell a ton of our deals to. And then, but now we're in the market. We're looking for new buyers because you never know, this buyer may want something else, or this buyer may not. He may not be looking to buy at this time. So we're really trying to expand our buyers list to find, better and qualified buyers.
But to that point, when we get a deal, we sell it within an hour because we're really, for us, we focus on getting it at a price.
Pre-deal is what you can sell it for. So when you get it, you know it's gonna be sold.
Right, because we want to make we want to make over $20K on every deal that we do. So
wholesale.
We're wholesale. So we're really focusing on when we're meeting with a potential seller on getting it at a price so we know. We already know what the investors are buying for in that area. So we know we need to get it at this price. Does that happen every time? No, I'm not going to say that happens every time, but that's our intent going into it.
But that's key, because one thing we've been talking about is like a lot of these people, newer people who are getting into this, think got to do 15, 20 deals a month. And it's like, That's not the case. I mean, we do 3-4 deals a month. You might do one deal a month, but it's all about your goal of what you feel you need per month to live the life you need to live. And also how you said you guys wholesale, buy and hold, fix and flip. Right. Like, I'm trying to get people off the whole wholesaler mentality, because that mentality will burn you out. Right. Like, you're an investor doing many different things,
Right. Yeah. For us, we look at it to each his own. Now we are in a society where it's great to be, everybody's a real estate investor.
Yeah, everybody.
And most of these people that are saying, I'm a real estate investor, they've actually never fixed and flipped a home. They don't own rental properties. Mm-hmm. If you are a wholesaler, I don't look at you as a real estate investor. I just look at you as a day trader. That's really essentially what it boils down to. You are a day trader of real estate. So that's it's not I'm an investor. You're a day trader, and everybody's pushing become a wholesaler. There are other ways to make money in real estate that people don't even
know. So many ways. That's the key.
One thing that we are really intrigued about you is the buying the notes. We really are looking into that being the next thing that we want to get into.
You got some notes for sale.
You got to educate them how to do it first, how to make a mistake.
Well, let's talk about that right now. Why don't you break down what
Yeah, I mean, like Kevin will tell you one thing. That's like the note, the whole note, not just buying, but originating the note, selling the note, and then packaging the notes and buying them is something I hyper focused on, because it's a whole other niche of real estate that when you realize how to do it, I'm telling you, it's like the biggest return on your money, right? So basically a note, the easiest way to say a note is, you're a seller, I'm a buyer, right? You agree to sell me something, right? We sign a note that states the terms of our agreement.
Right.
You got it? So it's the first form of selling real estate ever was somebody wanted to buy something, they wrote a note, here's the terms, I give you something for consideration for a down payment, right? You give me a certain amount of time to pay it off, and a certain interest rate or 0% interest rate, whatever it is. And then we create a buying agreement called a note, sign it, notarize it, you have a note.
For the most common person, it's the mortgage.
It's the mortgage, yeah.
Right. It's the mortgage. And you can buy and sell the mortgage instead of the property.
The property, yes.
So at the end of the day, I think every one of us should constantly be marketing and building not just a buyer's list of investors, but a buyer list of people that can't qualify traditionally for mortgage. Right. Yeah. So if you got a deal that can't work for an investor because maybe the equity's not there, doesn't have a spread, imagine you have 30 people that over the last 2 months have signed up for your list that are looking for seller financing deals. They got $20,000, but they can't qualify FHA or conventional mortgage. Yeah. But they'll give you a $20,000 down payment, and they'll pay you 10%. Interest rate per month, because they know it's the only way to become a homeowner. Right. Mm-hmm. So then you basically become the bank. Now you have that deal. Now you're not trying to sell the house to an investor. You're now saying, hey, I got a $100,000 mortgage at 10% interest rate. Right. I'll sell it to you at 90, so you already walk in with a spread in case they turn around and sell it tomorrow. Right. The property, you at least make $10,000, and you're gonna make 10% on your return. Wow! So technically,
you actually make more than 10% because the interest rate is 10% plus you get a discount. Right. The yield might be 11-12%.
Right. Exactly.
And there's a huge, people don't understand how many people are looking to buy notes. Like there's a huge note buying clientele.
It's better than being a landlord in most situations because they're paying you monthly cash flow.
And you're not dealing with
any
if the bathroom breaks, you don't call the bank. Yeah. Right now, if you have a mortgage and Wells Fargo's your mortgage company, if the roof falls apart, who are you calling? Not Wells Fargo.
Yeah. And you understand a lot of landlords that I deal with when I go buy a home through seller financing, I can show them how if they sell it to me seller financing, they make more money than they were making as a rental.
Yeah. We definitely need to talk about that. We need to talk about that.
But I mean, there's just so many tools people don't know. If you just focus on wholesaling, you're going to miss 90% of the basket.
You're absolutely right, because we brought a 12-unit apartment complex seller financing last year. So for us, when we
bought seller financing, or you sold it?
No, we purchased it from him, seller financing, because he didn't really he wanted to sell, but he still wanted the income. So he went to Mr. Seller. Listen, I can give you basically the same amount of money you were making per month, but with less headaches. You can? Tell me about it. Yep. It's called seller financing. Everybody wants to be the bank. You need to become the bank. And once we explained it to him, it was a no-brainer for him.
I got a deal yesterday. I'll tell you coming today. We'll probably analyze it today. The exact same statement.
Wow.
She's tired of tenants. I'm tired of tenants. I don't want this house anymore. I'm tired of tenants. My mom's getting old. I got to take care. I said, what if I can show you a way where you can make more money, still, getting payments per month than you were making as a landlord?
Right.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Send her the numbers. Signed it today.
Right. And that's a market that's not tapped yet. Everybody's constantly preaching wholesaler. No. If you really want to build generational wealth, understand seller financing, right?
Become the bank.
Right.
Of course.
The banks run the world. What do the banks do?
Right.
What do the banks do? They lend and get interest.
To other people.
Right.
That's what you want to become as the bank.
Right.
Speaking of buyers list, how'd you guys build your buyers list?
Just over time, going to networking events, the DREAs, the DRE events, the RIAs. One cool thing that everybody does. That we found out now is when we're driving, going to see a property, and I see somebody working on a house, I stop and I talk to the contractor, say, who's the owner of the property? Because I know this guy's a real buyer. He's working on right now. So that's how we built our really, really good buyers.
Yeah.
Those
active guys out there right now.
Guys that are
that's money in the bank
right there. So hold on a second. Let's make sure they understand what you do. If you see anybody doing renovations or work on a property, you stop and say, who hired you to do this deal?
Yep. And I said, get it.
Yeah, that's how I was at the beginning. Just when you're trying to figure it out, I was like, what can we do that nobody's really told us? So one day I was like, one of the best buyers that we found, the first time I did this guy's purchased probably about 20 deals from us. I stopped because he was working on the property. And it was funny because the contractors, they didn't speak English. On the phone, and they called the guy, and the guy spoke a little bit of English, and now he became one of our top buyers just because we stopped and had a conversation with his contractor.
And let's do the math on that. 20 deals, on average, $20,000 a pop. That moment brings in $400,000 in revenue.
That little probably 5 minutes out of your day, stopping and talking to somebody.
Yeah, because before we started crushing it PPC, when we first started, we used to work on the MLS. Then the MLS dried out, and then we started driving for dollars, knocking on doors. And that's really when we really built the good core buyers, because as you're driving through these neighborhoods, you're seeing these houses being fixed up. And not only were we making money finding deals, but we were creating those relationships to sell those deals too. So
I love
awesome.
it.
Yeah. And then one thing that a lot of people forget is you don't need a list of 100, 200, 300 buyers. You need a good core group of buyers, 7 to 10 max, and they'll buy up everything that you have. You have one guy that buys high end, and you have 3 or 4.
One guy's a buy and hold.
Yeah,
right? Definitely.
So that's all you
need. In your core group, you would say who? How many? You guys count on about how many?
7, 8 guys. 7, 8.
90% of my deals are sold to about that 10 or below. Who before I even email it out, 90% of them, I make a phone call to them, it's already sold.
Do the same thing.
We do the same thing.
That's the key. Instead of building a huge bar. Now, if you go to a different market where you're just starting off, of course. But
even now, we had a deal, a really hot deal. We'll make about $27K on this deal wholesale. We've seen the property one time. We sent the buyer to go look at the property. He spoke to the homeowner. But we have a great relationship with this guy, and I know he's not going to go behind our back. So. Our buyers are guys that I can literally give the key to my house to and say, hey, go look at my house or, go do something.
You've built that relationship to that point.
Right.
You mentioned PPC. Why don't we break down for people that don't know what PPC means? How'd you guys get into it, and where are you taking it today?
So when we first started, our mentor taught us how to do deals on the MLS. We were doing a ton of deals on the MLS every month, and then it started to dry up. One thing he didn't say about I live in the paranoid world. I think I am a glass half empty kind of guy. Like
the market is going down today.
The world is ending.
I'm looking 5 years away from what's happening now. That's me.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great dynamic because he was like, bro, you overthinking. No, I'm not overthinking. Like, we need to do this now. So the MLS is drying up. And then we started going door knocking. So we would go on the county website, build a foreclosure list, build a tax deed list, and go knock on the door. Because I didn't know anything about cold calling and all these other mechanisms that we have now to generate leads. And that became very burdensome. Yeah, we would make great money on it, but you just think about it. You got to knock on probably 100 doors a week just to potentially get one deal. That I'm a huge proponent of. I'm a huge believer of. Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
So I'm like, listen, it got to be an easy way for us to do this. I saw a post on social media, and Bill Gates says, if your business is not online, you don't have a business.
Yeah.
And I started thinking, like, Josh, we got to create an online presence. Everything is going digital. Everything you do is on your phone or your iPad. Why can people not find us that way? Like, we have to be able to focus on that. So I have a buddy. He runs like a huge PPC business. He generates these for dentists. I go to him, Bill, you're going to generate leads for me, and we're going to crush it. I'm excited about it. He said, no, I'm not. Why? Because in order for you to really do good in PPC, you have to have somebody that understands that industry so they can understand the keywords. So he put us in contact with this guy that we know, and Bill said, listen, whatever you guys do, just give it 3 to 6 months. Because anything you do, you have to dedicate it. So we set aside a budget. We're going to give this 4 months. Within those 4 months, we did about 2 deals. It wasn't enough to keep going, but I was like, you know what?
Those were 2 deals from the PPC?
Yeah, from the PPC. And we was like, you know what? Let's just keep doing it. We kept doing it. The guy, he knew PPC, but he was learning real estate PPC on our dollar. Gotcha. But that's now paying huge dividends. We do minimum 7 deals a month PPC.
Wow.
And our average spread is about $20K per deal.
Now, give people an idea, like a keyword. What are the keywords that you guys focus on, for example?
Sell my house fast.
Okay, so they'll essentially on Google, Yahoo,
right,
and a couple other different platforms. If you really get deep into it, you'll essentially pay for every time somebody puts that word or those series of words in the search bar, and your ad appears for your website in the top 2 or 3 spots. They'll click on it, go to your website, put in the information, and then you guys will get that on either your text message, email, and phone, and call them right away, and it becomes a deal. Just like if they called your sign outside that says, we buy house cash or whatever, or if you meet them face-to-face out in the street, this is just another road into your system, processes, and world.
Definitely. It's pay-per-click. Pay-per-click, definitely.
About what kind of a budget are you guys rocking with right now?
Right now, about $9K a month. But we just started. We just bumped our budget to $9K at the beginning of May. Before we was at $9K, February and March, in April we was at $5K, and in January we was at $35K, and then last year we was only spending $2,500. And this is the importance of surrounding yourself with the right people. So we went to this marketing event in January, which sparked this whole PPC business. And the guy said, if you're doing PPC, put your numbers up. It was us and another guy that was doing it, and the guy who was hosting the event, you guys are crushing it. You guys are doing amazing. Here we are. We're thinking we're doing okay. We're doing about 4 deals a month. And he said, bro, if you guys are spending $3,500, you're doing 4 deals a month. What happens if you double it?
Of course.
Yeah, definitely.
Because and for us, we were just like, you know what? Let's just play it safe and not increase the spend.
That's monopoly, right? The board.
Right. We increased the spend, got more deals. We increased the spend, got more deals. And it's like, we're going to continue to increase this.
That's the key.
We're going to turn this faucet on and let all the money and everything start to,
And that's the key. Anything you do in marketing, the more you put towards it.
Yeah, for sure.
I talked to a guy yesterday who called me. He's looking to get into real estate wholesaling. And I'm talking to him, and he asked me, he goes, I have like $200K. What should I put it to? I said, well, what's your goal? Are you looking to get residual income real estate? Are you looking to get some flips? What? He's like, I kind of want to do a little bit of both. I said, if it was me, I put half of that into some properties right now I can buy, and the other half into marketing.
Right.
He goes, you put $100K into marketing?
For sure.
I go, I set a monthly budget and use $100K for marketing because this business is about marketing. Right. He's like, man, you just keep saying marketing. That's all you keep telling me is marketing. Right. I was like, because how do you get deals? It's marketing. If you can do direct mail, RVM, cold calling, PPC, all those different buckets, and vehicles, that's what's going to generate the business,
Right. Definitely. You got to get yourself in front of people. You got to get yourself in front of your audience. And like he was saying, think about it. When we need to find out something, we're going to a new restaurant. We need to take our car in for service. What's the first thing people do? We look on our phones, or we get on Google and say, "Hey, where's the nearest car shop?" Or for us, how can I sell my house fast? So you have to be online.
So for you guys, the future of our business is going digital and more digital and more digital.
Yes, and you just really think about where all the VC money is going for real estate. OfferPad, Zillow.
Keller Williams just spent a ton of money.
All these companies that are coming out with generating leads online. So that if that tells you, if you in the past year, VCs have put about $500 million into online companies to generate leads for real estate investors, why, if you want to be here long term, why are you not positioning yourself? Yes, the cold calling, the SMS, I think all of that will continue to be around, but for how long? Because now you're starting to see the regulations for RVM. I'm sure regulations are going to come out for cold calling because everybody's doing it. All the gurus tell you the first thing you need to do, because it's so cheap, is to do RVM and cold calling. Yep. Me with my paranoia, I just genuinely believe RVM is going to be banned within the next 3 years, and I think cold calling are going to have regulations. Some type of regulation.
There are already regulations are just going to crack down.
Of course,
Right, for sure.
Yeah. Now, we got the fam in the house. You got your girls here.
Yes.
Yeah, I know you guys shared your story of your mom. Why don't you guys, the fact that you're killing it in PPC and you're killing it at the RIA and your relationships and you got your core buyers, a lot of people don't talk about, they talk about the money, but they don't talk about like the actual true benefit of what that brings to your lifestyle and how it impacts your family. Let everybody know what you guys did with your moms, because I know that was a big bucket list moment for you guys.
It was a huge bucket list moment for us. So, I mean, when we first started making money in real estate, we wanted to actually buy her a new house, but I mean, my mom is old school. She doesn't want to leave.
I've been in this house. I've been in this house all my life. I ain't leaving this house.
So, you know, we decided to say, okay, Mom, you know, because the house, it was older. It hasn't been updated since, you know, 80s, 90s. So we decided to say, hey, Mom, whatever you want done to your house, we'll do it. So when it's all said and done, you know, we're about, $70K into it. I mean, new kitchen, new plumbing, new floors, new restrooms, new roof, everything completely brand new windows. And I mean, for me, that's been probably like top 2 or 3 highlights of my life. Besides me being a father, my relationship with Christ, that's really a top highlight for me.
Amen.
I think for me, that's also been a top highlight. But just having that ability
through real estate.
We grew up dirt poor. Like what they portray the black family in society, that was our life. No lights, none of that. And to be able to set it up for our daughters, like most of our companies are named after our daughters, like their initials. Yeah. To be able to set them up, to be able to set them up for future success, something I never had. That in and of itself, if I die tomorrow, I know that my daughters are amazing. But to touch on it, like our initials, me and him have the same initials, Jam. It's funny that our daughters, the beginning of their letters, I mean the
3 of them?
The 3 of them, their initials is Jam.
Wow.
Journey, Ava, Malia. So we have Jam Management, Jam Ventures, Jam Jam that.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. I mean, I could just figure how, I mean, you know, brothers being able to do that together through real estate, you know, for your mom, for your family. Right now, because one thing I'm doing, a lot of my friends, like really good friends and family, I've been able to bring in to real estate, you know, and actually I have a brother from my real dad who I've never seen a day in my life. Who I talked to on the phone for the first time 2 months ago because of real estate. Because he saw my Instagram page. He called me like, hey, I need to get into what you're doing. And we connected for the first time. I'm 39. Ever. Through him seeing what I was posting on IG about real estate. So like real estate can do amazing things for families, life, everything.
But from real estate, you really just think about this. I never knew anything about PPC 2 years ago. Now I have a PPC company that's growing. And we've also been able to make other investments outside of real estate because we've gotten into real estate. And we have a running joke within our office. In 2009, we had a t-shirt company. I don't even want to talk about that. We had a mentor. He went to lunch. He was like, man, just scrap this t-shirt company. Get into real estate. I promise you guys.
Yeah, and this was 2009, right after
the crash.
Right after the crash.
And if you look at all the millionaires that were made in the past 10 years, they started buying houses between 2009 and 2013. They brought them for $20,000. I know a guy, he brought like 80 rental properties between 2011 and 2013. Average price that he purchased them at was 40 to 50 grand. He's selling them all now for over 300,000.
09 to 13 was the greatest time. I mean, I made more money in real estate than that time than ever. But everybody else thought it was like run away. But no, the guys who were there buying right now are like, oh, I'm good. I'm good. Generational wealth. From that little period.
Yeah, for sure. If you master that cycle that you just described, because it's coming again.
It's coming again.
Not as bad as it did with a big crash over, but if you find the right pockets, you can pick up those properties again, ride them for the next 6 to 10 years, and it'll jump back up at its peak. and then you dump them just like your guy is right now.
Yep.
And that's how people make millions and millions riding the real estate cycles.
Right.
The key is knowing that though. You gotta follow the trends.
And then that's so important because now I don't know what it is about me, but I love to look at data. Like, I think way more than him.
Yeah.
And if you're looking at the data, Redfin did a study which we just looked at last year when somebody was trying to sell their home. Just to make numbers simple, don't quote. This is not accurate.
Yeah.
That home when somebody put it on the market last year, you were getting 10 offers within the first week. Now that has dropped to 10 offers within the first month. Mm-hmm. So you're really starting to see the downward trend where if you're not paying attention, you're going to get caught.
That's key. Yeah, you gotta follow the data and the trends, man.
Right.
And like that's why I'm always talking about being an investor because so many guys are just wholesaling the whole, and they're not actually following and learning the market itself. Yep. Right? The market's cyclical. It always does this.
Up and down.
And you can invest in any market. I mean, right now we're all investing in a very high market. Doing fine.
Right.
I'm actually sitting here preparing, waiting for it to start doing this a little bit more.
Right.
But like following the market, reading the data trends is extremely important to being a successful investor in real estate.
Right. Sure.
You mentioned your relationship with Christ, and that's something that on this show it's important to me and Jay.
Huge.
How does it play a part in your company?
Oh, that's number one. One of our core values is faith. Number one, faith in God, and then number two, faith in yourself. But I mean, we was raised Christian household, single mother, and my mom, forced us to go to church. And, you didn't understand it then, but I understand it now that God is number one in my life. He's number one in my kids' life. And because of him, that's where we are today. He's opened up so many doors for us. And I mean, I'm just thankful to God. I really am. Because without him, we wouldn't be here at all.
We went to church so much as kids. I would not have to go to church for the rest of my adult life because of the time served in church while I was a kid.
I bet you I beat you.
I don't know, but my mom
Sundays, Tuesdays,
my grandfather opened the church, and I'm talking about our church was the one from like Sunday school at 9, and church till the end till 3 p.m. And there was no children's church back then. That we all sat in the bed. So Sunday, Monday, Friday, choir rehearsal on Thursday.
Yeah. We used to have choir rehearsal as kids in the backyard. We used to be so embarrassed about that, but now it's just like whatever. But
that stuff mold. I mean, those times.
Right.
I mean, those relationships. The words that we were hearing that we weren't even really trying to listen to.
Yeah, but if you really put the Bible into perspective and you really apply it to your life, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Just if you really apply it, imagine that term right there. Imagine if we as a society applied that to our life and we did everything we did said, I can handle this because of God. Mm-hmm. Just think about what we would be as a society. No poverty. Mm-hmm. And all the stuff that we have going on, it wouldn't be there if we applied that one
principle. Applied that. No, I agree.
Just think about it.
I agree.
I think a huge thing for me too is that it reminds me of sympathy and putting other people first. And then what we do, especially when you are helping people through these distress situations,
right?
That's the guidance right there. That sometimes greed can easily creep up into the situation, especially when you're like, I can make 150 on this deal.
Yeah.
What? You know what I could do with 100?
But for us, another one of our core values for our life and for our business is integrity. Yeah. And integrity means to us in our business is people before profit. I don't care how much money we can make on a deal, but if we have to wrong somebody or do something bad, that's not the deal for us. And, living through one of those principles has gotten us to where we are. And, it's a part of our success. You always want to treat people the right way. The Bible tells us you reap what you sow, and that's just how we live. You want to treat people the right way.
And I believe it. I mean, that's 100% truth, man. People before profit. Yeah.
And look, I love everybody out there, and we are a open show. If you, whatever your beliefs are, we're going with you.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I will tell you this: there's something bigger than us out there.
Yeah,
whatever you believe is what you believe. Right. But if you could take anything from what we're segueing into, is people over profits. Right. Because the profits will come.
Yep.
As long as you could put people first. Right. I wholeheartedly believe that one.
Yep. You reap what you sow, man. You sow a good seed. Yep. You know that harvest is coming back. You know?
Definitely.
I can tell you many deals where my numbers were very slim because I'm trying to make sure that the person's taken care of. But I know it's come back 1,000-fold because of that. That's huge. And we're still here. Right. We're still doing it for how long we've been doing it because of that.
I have an $800 deal I did. It was like $800 and it took like 25
Probably the
hours.
hardest
Those tiny deals are the hardest deals.
Exactly.
It's like I'm making no money, and that's
no
what all
money.
my time, energy, and effort is being spent on the tiny.
But
deals.
I think the thing is,
But
we're
that
not.
person needed it.
We're not doing it. But the what you get from the end of that deal is why you keep doing it. Like the feeling you get when it's like, you know what, I know this family, this person, I actually helped out. That's a situation. That's what we do it for. You know? The money we need the money, so the money's good to come. But like we do it for those stories of like how we helped other people out.
Right.
You know.
Smart money segment time, guys. We're gonna ask you a few questions, 4 or 5 questions. Whatever is the truth is the truth.
Okay.
If you guys can go back and start day one, but broke, what would you do first?
Door knock. That's anybody looking to get in real estate. You don't know how to generate a lead. Go knock on somebody's door. Because you understand rejection, big time.
Yeah.
And then you understand how to build rapport and how to build trust and how to really get somebody to trust you with a huge decision in their life. Mm-hmm. And for us, door knocking.
Same with me, door knocking.
Yeah,
door knocking
with that one
for sure.
The biggest mistake you could go back and change if you had a time machine
In life, personal, what?
in business, in real estate.
Oh, we would have
got in earlier. I would have listened to my mentor. 2009, we were sitting at Jay Alexander's. I never forget. He said, "Guys, get into real estate." It was like, no, I wanted to be a typical business owner. We had a t-shirt company at the time. But if I had a time machine, I would go back to 2009.
Yep.
Jay Alexander.
We'd all be chilling.
Well, we talk about that all the time. Like, dang, man. I wish we would have listened to this guy when he told us to do that.
Shout out to your mentor.
Mr. Randy Bass, and the guy by the name of Randy Bass. That's one of our mentors. He told us, "Hey,
how'd you guys start working with him as far as him mentoring you?"
I think we are blessed with great spirits and great energy, and people feel that. So this guy at the time, he was he had sold his company about 6 years prior to meeting or before meeting us. Mm-hmm. And we were going to Nova Southeastern University, and he was a part of their board. And that's how we think about it. That's how we met like 4 of our great mentors who we still communicate with to this day, just through college. Mm-hmm. And connections. I used to work in the dean's office, and the dean would host all these entrepreneurs to come to the school because Nova is one of those schools they focus on entrepreneurship. So all these people would come. And I was in the parking lot with a suit and tie, 80-degree weather, parking cars with passion. And these people seeing this kid, like, everything I do, I feel like if you put passion into it, there's no way you can go wrong unless you're just a stubborn person that needs to deviate from the plan.
That's key.
So for us, it's just those people seeing me parking cars the way with so much energy. I had
one smile on your face.
Yes,
happy,
one guy came up to me and say, "Listen, bro, I don't know what it is about you, kid, but I just really want you to join my team." And I went and interned for that guy for about 6 months. We started the company that's now probably worth about $300 million. Well, I started it for him. But it just, even having that experience,
that's usually, but somebody needs to hear that because somebody's watching this, gonna watch this podcast in a job they probably don't like.
Right.
They're trying to learn real estate. They're probably mad, but you got to go out there and do that job every day. Like it's the best job in the world because people are watching you.
I do that all the time. When I get a good server who takes care of me or someone at a place that takes care of me, I tell them, you know what? Here's my card. Call me. I want to have a conversation with you.
You just see the person.
All the time. I'm like, this guy would kill the game.
Right. And that's kind of the same for us, man. In business, you need people. Yeah. Business equals people. If you don't have, a business doesn't run itself. I forget what the book I read was, businesses that don't fail. It's people that fail. Yeah. So you want to make sure that you surround yourself with the right people and the right team to take your business to the next level. So, we put a huge emphasis on making sure we're hiring the right people, doing business with the right people, making sure our contractors are all good people.
Yeah, amen.
Yeah.
Hey, top investment goal for you guys right now. What's your focus as far as the investing side for your own capital?
We want to buy more rental properties. We definitely want to, buy more rental properties.
But more larger scale. There's nothing wrong with single family. Mm-hmm. Let me say that right now. But for us, where we want to go and the ability and the opportunities we have, we're focusing more on trying to find apartment complexes off market because we started working with the broker and everything he sends us is at a 5% cap. Some investors that works for them. For us, if I'm going to deal with the headaches that comes with managing tenants because it is a huge headache. People always talk about passive income. They don't know. They don't see
that's
dealing
very
with tenants.
active.
Yes, it's very active.
It's very active.
Not only big projects. Look, right now, 16-unit building that I have 2 apartments in, so I'm part of the board and whatnot.
Right.
The roof needs to be repaired. That's $140,000 repair right there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got to get everybody on board,
Right.
assessments, the whole
Right.
9.
Yep.
All right.
No, I agree though. What you said is key though, because the last guy, a couple of shows ago, we were talking about how don't judge the deal because every investor has different wants for his deal. So for some guys, the 5% cap rate works fine. You know, for others, like for me, example, I'm used to buying in the Midwest where we're getting like 13, 14%. So it's hard for me to justify paying anything for a 5% cap rate. You know, but each person has a different goal,
Right.
a different plan of what they want to accomplish in it. But there's deals out there for everybody.
Yeah, investor profile is what I call it. Everybody has a different investor profile.
Definitely.
Top tool in your business right now. I know you guys, PPC is a service,
PPC.
but is there a tool, specifically a software that you guys would highly recommend people to look into?
That's a good question.
For us, we're trying to get more into tech, but
Right now, when your PPC leads come in, they go into what?
we're building out our own CRM system right now because we really want to create something that works specifically for PPC. Nobody's really doing that. So we're actually building out something that works specifically for PPC. But as far as tools, that's not really us right now.
You're on the MLS a lot.
No, not really.
Not really.
What do you guys?
What do you guys
Well,
do?
you know what? I'm sorry.
Most of
We
deals?
use we do use the MLS a lot to do comps,
Right.
for our fix and flips or to know what we should offer on property. So we go on the MLS and we say, okay, investors in this area are paying how much for this style house. So that's kind of how we determine what we need to offer.
But I think for us having a business, I think we have a shared space in terms of like Google Drive and Dropbox.
Google Drive is huge for
Right,
your
it
business.
is. And for us, it's created so much accountability. And a lot of companies fail because of not having accountability. So every Monday we have, like, every rare attraction, somewhat of a level 10 meeting where we're going over certain things that needs to get done. And we put a lot of stuff on that Google Drive and it's made our business so 100 times.
Yeah, Google Drive is a huge tool. I mean, we're using it for what we're doing. I'm using it with everyone I work with. And I partner with people all across the country. We all use Google Drive for like the central hub, you know, with the CRM, you know.
Right. Right, definitely.
And last question, what do you guys do? I mean, I know you got the kids and you hang out, but what do you do to disconnect from the grind? What's your vices?
The kids. The kids.
Family?
The kids.
The kids. I mean,
Whatever
I
they
don't
wanna
care.
do?
Whatever.
I don't care what type of day we've had, how much money we made, how much money we've lost. You know, besides my relationship with Christ, this is my biggest joy. You know, seeing my kids, spending time with my kids. You know, when we leave here, we're going to Chick-fil-A date every Saturday. Every Saturday, I take
It was funny. I'm sorry. Side note, I didn't know he took them on a date every Saturday to Chick-fil-A. They love Chick-fil-A. I go to the Chick-fil-A and I walk in. They're like, Josh, what's up, baby? Man, where the girls? And as a twin, you used to it. People like approach you like that, but I'm like, huh? He's like, bro, you don't know me. Like, why are you acting funny? I said, you must know my brother. No, you're a twin. Yeah, bro, I'm a twin. But for us,
crazy.
it's just the kids. It's like we have. It's so crazy that every morning his two daughters will call my phone on FaceTime. Uncle Jeremy, where's Journey? My daughter named Journey. Where's Journey? And we have those conversations every morning. That's for us. Our daughters are
That's awesome.
Our whole life runs through
I
our
got
daughters.
3 daughters. I got 5 kids too. I got 3 daughters.
Okay.
You know, and every day, I left today, Stella, because a Wawa just opened by her house, right? So yesterday, I guess in school, all the kids in kindergarten talking about Wawa. So I promised her Wawa.
Yeah.
So we went yesterday. And today she goes, we're going to Wawa when you get back? I'm like, Stella, we can go to Wawa every day. But, you know,
Just plugging in with our daughters, and then besides from our daughters, just traveling. You know, we never really got that as opportunity as kids growing up. So we're starting to travel a lot more and see the world.
What's the next spot? You guys know?
Not yet. Well, we were talking about a trip to Colombia next year.
Hey, you guys need
We got
a
to
tour
book one
guide?
together, man.
I'll
He's
be out
taking
there
us
like
all.
3 times this year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so hit me up.
Oh,
So
Try to coordinate while I'm out there.
That's next year. For this year, we try to do about at least a trip or 2 per quarter, just to kind of break away, reset.
Yeah.
So
That's key.
But our trips are not planned far in advance. It's, bro, let's go out of town at the end of this month.
Yeah, that's how me and my wife are.
Yeah.
It's like you really can't play. A quick question before we stop though, like for someone just getting into PPC, right? Like, what's some advice? What should they target? Like, you don't need to have a huge budget, obviously. You can start small, but how does that work for someone who's just
the first thing that
off?
somebody needs to understand is that PPC is different than all these other marketing channels. You have to be patient.
And take time.
You have to be patient. If you are patient enough, you're going to be able to reap those rewards. And for us, that was hard at first when you're spending $10,000 in 3 months and you get 2 deals. If I did that on RVM or something else, I'm getting a ton of deals. Mm-hmm. But now you have everybody basically doing all these other cheap alternatives to marketing. That for us, that was a huge thing for us to just sit there and be patient with PPC.
I know what you're saying because we started PPC about 4 or 5 months ago. I actually have a guy on my team that's always doing now. It's SEO, PPC stuff. I don't even know what he's doing. Like, just do it, And
for us, man, we love it because, like I want to build the business where, the leads come to us. We're not chasing them because when they come to you, they're motivated. Right. Mm-hmm. There's some motivation there. So let that lead come in and, it's on us to sell, to do, a good job of selling. But as far as, cold calling, RVM and, all this outbound stuff, it's cool. You need it to continue to grow the business, but we really want to focus on the leads that are coming in.
Plus, you're building leads. Those leads are going to come next year from what you're doing right now, right?
Yep. Right?
I mean, that's the thing. You're building a presence for like 5 years from now. Right. You guys are still be getting leads in from the work you're doing today.
Right.
Which is huge.
I know you guys started a PPC company. Why don't we do it live on air right here? I want to hire you guys. What's my minimum budget? I want to break into a market. I know you guys have South Florida already locked down. Let's say Fort Myers.
So if you wanted to break in Fort Myers, for us, the way we built our PPC company was the same way we built PPC within our actual real estate company. Mm-hmm. So when we first started doing PPC, we started out with $2,500 a month. And there was we had a 3-month commitment to ourselves to do it. So if you're hiring us as a PPC company, number one, there's $3,500. That's the minimum spend.
Okay.
But if you're spending anything less than $5,000, we're taking $1,000.
But hold on, to make one thing clear, we know we're not looking to sign everybody up.
Okay. Yeah.
We want investors, real investors, guys that understand. I need to be patient. I'm gonna get the return that I'm looking for.
They have money to spend.
And they have
the budget to spend for the
because sometimes if you're a new investor, you're not our client. So we're really laser focused on who we sign up.
And to his point, one thing that he didn't mention was if we take you on, you've had to have some type of deal flow in the past. Because a lot of times what happens is we generate the lead for you, and sometimes people can't close those deals. And we live in a society where we don't look in the mirror, we look at everybody else.
Of course.
The leads that you're generating from me are not good.
Of course.
Like, no, you're horrible at sales. Mm-hmm. For us, one thing that we really realized through going through these conferences and surrounding ourselves with the right people, we needed more sales training. Yes, we increased our budget in terms of PPC, but after we took a basic sales training course, because I thought I was good, but after we took that simple training course, we converted so many more. But for us, we just have to find that right customer. But if you spend less than $5,000, we take a $1,000 management fee. Anything over $5,000, we take a 20% management fee. And there's a 3-month commitment. We build you out a custom website. Mm-hmm. So we're not slapping up a simple landing page. This is a custom website that includes backlinks, that includes a real tracking portal. The difference between us and a lot of people is not only are we actually in the business and doing the business, but we know what people need within the real estate community. So some of our clients that we've recently signed up that have did PPC in the past, their biggest thing that they've come to us and said was lack of communication and lack of data. We built out a portal. This portal shows you your cost per click, how many leads did you generate for the day, how many leads did we generate for the week? Because, and my partner, I told him, I want to create some accountability for us. Mm-hmm. I want people to know that we're actually doing our job, just not taking your money.
Definitely.
So
that's perfect.
Definitely.
We'll have it in the show notes. We'll try to work out a special deal for our audience as well.
We'll have you guys on some more too, man. I definitely want to, keep, because this is a big marketing technique that's a lot more in depth than what we can talk about right now. So it'd be good to have him come on.
You got to come back for sure.
We'd love to come back. Next time I won't bring the kids.
No, man. I'll bring mine too, and they can just run around. It'll be fun.
I love having the kids. 'Cause you know what? That's what it is. I mean, Jay came up with the name of Shut Up and Invest, and it was about stop talking about it and start taking care of the fam.
Right.
That really is what the whole focus here is because you can have the cool cars and
Right.
you can go and spend the money on yourself, but eventually you're empty.
Right.
If you ain't doing it for somebody else and taking care of the people that matter, it's hard to stay in
We're all
this
about
grind.
legacy, man. We're trying to create a legacy.
Definitely.
For our
Generational
families,
wealth.
generational wealth. And the people watching our show got kids running around watching the show. So we got kids running around while we taping.
No, but for us, I think when you have kids, I don't know about everybody else, but I know for me and him, my why has gotten so much bigger.
Oh, yeah,
when you
definitely.
first started out, I want to make a ton of money. I want to be rich, especially somebody growing up where I grew up from. That was my why. I just want to make a ton of money. And then when you have a kid, and it's just your why and your mindset is, at least for me, it changed big time. It was everything was different. Every decision I make now in my life, whether it's business, personal, I have my daughter in mind.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm setting up life insurance, I'm setting up a trust. If I'm setting up anything, I have my daughter in mind. So for
She's
this,
good.
It becomes a necessity too. Kevin knows my story, man. I had my one daughter was born, 6 months. My wife got pregnant again. Ooh. Right, so they're 14 months apart.
God bless
And I'm
you,
in a new city, getting a real estate license. I have no other option. My only why I'm doing this, I got all these kids and a wife to take care of. So it becomes a necessity. Why? But it pushes you to a farther point. And if you don't, I know Kevin has niece, that he's always thinking after right now.
No, it's crazy.
Hopefully soon he's going to be joining the one day.
Next 5 years, but
it's family. You got family,
100%. And I'm always thinking about setting up generational wealth that when I start going into that world, they're not gonna have anything to worry about.
Yeah, it's already prepared for.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, how can people contact you guys? How can people get in touch? Everything will be in the show notes, but what's your IGs? What's the easiest way?
Website,
the best thing to get in contact with us is Instagram. Mathis Twins on Instagram. That's the best way to get in contact with us. So we're actively trying to grow a presence, because for us, a lot of people have been telling us, just put out content. Because we don't do the mentoring thing, like the whole pay us to mentor, but once a week, and I credit him for this, we try to meet with somebody that's really trying to do business, whether real estate related or not. Mm-hmm. So we meet with people once a week. We give them 30 minutes of our time and just really tell them about our experiences. We've started 4 or 5 companies that have not worked out, and we want to show people that, we're successful now, but it always hasn't been this way. But Instagram, Mathis Twins, the best way to contact us.
There you go.
Awesome. Mathis Twins, you know where to find us out at. Hey, if you guys enjoyed this episode, which you had to enjoy this episode, like, subscribe,
share,
comment, share. Spread the word, man. We're just trying to, bring you guys everyday, scenarios going out there of people just out there,
money life.
changing their lives for their families,
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
At the end of the day, shut up and invest.
Yeah, appreciate you guys coming on, man.
Thanks for having us, man. We really appreciate it.
We really appreciate it.
The first of many.
Yes.
All right, guys, that's a wrap.
Hey, thank you once again for listening to Shut Up and Invest. If you guys are motivated at the thought of continuing your real estate journey with us, then visit shutupandinvest.com. There you can join a community and take advantage of more free resources. And don't forget, please like, comment, and subscribe to this podcast so you're first to hear our new content every week. Most importantly, get active and don't forget to shut up and invest.